Welcome to The Abundance Journey, the show that helps spiritual entrepreneurs create an abundance mindset that accelerates revenue. Secretly, everything you experience in your life is actually abundance. Once you understand how to activate abundance, you find yourself in flow with your business and clients, so it's easy to create the revenue you want. The Abundance Journey is the only show that activates abundance for you, so you enjoy rapid results in your business. Here's your host, the Abundance Ambassador, Elaine Starling.
Hey, welcome. I got an important question for you. Are you ready to heal whatever is bothering you right now? Now, I'm talking about both what's bothering you in this particular moment, as well as healing it in this particular moment. Well, I've got a humongous treat for you because we get to play with Susie. Oh my gosh. She is going to do so much for you. You have no idea what Susie Day is capable of. Let me just give you a little bit of a background so you know what you're in for, because, oh my gosh, this is going to be amazing. Susie believes that simple, everyday, daily choices can lessen your autoimmune pain, calm the mind, and boost energy without more medicine. Yeah. She's been on an autoimmune rebalance journey for over 15 years, since midlife when she was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, an autoimmune condition. Now, along Susie's journey, she's discovered and drastically improved her symptoms through food choices, energy medicine, mindfulness, essential oils, and other extraordinary practices. Well, now Susie mentors women who are going through midlife and living with challenges of an autoimmune condition. She teaches them simple and powerful daily practices that she's learned because she's certified in so many different things. She knows aromatherapy, energy medicine, gut health, skincare formulation, personal experience, and she's a transpersonal energy healing practitioner. Can you understand why I wanted to chat with Susie? This lady freaking rocks. Welcome, Susie.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here, Elaine.
And I'm so delighted that you're willing to play with me. Now, one of the things that we're doing with the show, The Abundance Journey, we start every show by setting an intention. And this is a really, really powerful practice because I don't know if you've ever watched shooting stars before. I mean, you do have to look at one area of the star field, but then you open up your peripheral vision. So any tiny stray bit of light catches your attention, you actually see the shooting star. And yes, psychologists know that there's a technique called priming. When you read a series of words and then you take a test, if you read supportive words, you do better on the test than if you read unsupportive words, then you don't do so well on the test. So what we do is we set an intention, which is kind of like holding a space of this is what we want to experience through our time together. And by doing that, you're activating your subconscious mind to pay attention to these little things that Susie and I are going to be chatting about. They're going to have these breakthrough revelations for you that contribute to your health and well-being. So that's why we want you to play with us with this intention. Now, I've done a rough draft. Susie hasn't seen it yet. I'm going to share it with Susie in the chat and read it out loud. And we're going to refine this because it's a collaborative process. We are co-creating this. And then we're going to hold the final intention for 78 seconds. So you will hear total silence for 78 seconds because this is that space, that time when you are saying, I'm willing to accept this. I want this. This is going to be my experience. Yes, please. I choose this. That's for 78 seconds because our minds are so busy all the time. We have an attention span that's shorter than a goldfish. So the divine is actually supporting you in holding this intention. But when your mind is busy ping-ponging all over the place, the divine's just sitting there going, yeah, right, more, all over the place, squirrel. And so they can't really latch in on what you want. But by holding that energy for 78 seconds and really committing to the fact, this is what I want, then it starts to show up for you through our conversation. It's kind of like calling your shot before you hit the pool cue against the pool ball, right? So Susie,
Yes.
What I have down here I always start with in love and light because that acknowledges that the God of your understanding is an active participant and we appreciate their participation. So in love and light, we hold the intention that we are immediately, permanently, and completely healed of all illness and injury, releasing all fears, doubts, frustrations, and symptoms to the divine, the God of our understanding, to be released so we enjoy vibrant physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual health in every area of our lives. Thank you, divine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done. Now, thank you is just good manners. I mean, you always say thank you. It's important.
Yes.
The it is done is actually for us. We've done our part by stating that intention and then holding it. That's all we need to do. And the divine can step in. Is there any rewording that you think would be useful for this? Is there a way we could improve this?
Oh my gosh. I just hung on every word. I think
Okay.
it's just divinely put together.
Perfect. Well, if it's good to go, then everybody get ready because I'm going to read the intention and I'm going to start my timer for 78 seconds and you won't hear anything for 78 seconds. You will feel some incredible energy because the divine is everywhere and every when. So many, many people are going to be listening to this and watching this over the years, and you will feel all of their energy added to this energy as well as the divine energy. So just feel it flowing through you as you welcome this into your awareness and your experience. That's the invitation. So here we go. In love and light, we hold the intention that we are immediately, permanently, and completely healed of all illness and injury, releasing all fears, doubts, frustrations, and symptoms to the divine, the God of our understanding, to be released so we enjoy vibrant physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual health in every area of our lives. Thank you, divine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done. We give thanks, and so it is. Yeah, such a powerful practice. Such a powerful practice. Did you feel that energy?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it didn't seem like 78 seconds. I was like, we're done? I just allowed myself to drift into it.
Yeah, it's amazing. My whole body was tingling.
Yeah.
I really felt it activated. So thank you. Thank you, everybody, for participating because every single person makes a difference here. And Susie,
Absolutely.
I really loved what you had to say when we first were chatting before we started recording. You were talking about how everybody makes this choice about their health. And that's why it's so powerful to decide how you want to move forward with your life. Could you talk a little bit more about that?
I think it's hard to wrap our head around when we've been diagnosed with something and we are in pain. We think, I didn't choose this. And, oftentimes we don't say, I want this or I want this. I want to feel bad. It's not that. I think our thoughts play a big role in it, in how we absorb other people's and outside influences and suppress our own voice. That plays a lot of role in, or a big role in how we feel. And that's a huge topic.
Yes, it is.
I'm like, oh, where do I start with that? But,
well, I think everybody struggles with this idea of self-love. And when your body doesn't feel good, you can get really ticked off with your body. Yeah. Like you're really angry with your body for not cooperating, for not doing what you wanted to do. And yet here we're taught that everything is love, and we have an opportunity to lean into it with love. Well, I want to back up for just a second, because I know you're super passionate about this. I mean, you are all in on helping people with autoimmune issues. Why are you so passionate about this?
Well, from my own diagnosis, I was diagnosed, I had a diagnosis of rheumatoid arthritis a little over 20 years ago. Before that, I was living my life, and, physically, when you don't hurt, you don't even, when you feel good, you don't even know it. And then for me, it was a very stressful period in my life. I was in a marriage that wasn't working out well, and I was extremely stressed. And instead of sharing how I was feeling, and really this is over the years, not just towards the end, I would suppress, and I'd suppress and suppress and suppress and suppress until I couldn't hardly, I was drowning in my own suppression. And I feel like that played a major role in having this diagnosis, because I didn't release anything ever. And
it makes a huge difference. It makes a huge, and that's one of the reasons why I love chatting with people about partnering with the divine, because so often we think it's all on us, and we have to have all the answers, and we have to have everything figured out. And so we get stuck in this analysis paralysis, and why me, and what did I do wrong, and what do I deserve this or something, and that's not any of it. No. You're in partnership with the divine, and everything is encouraging you to love yourself enough so that you overflow with love, and everybody else gets to experience that through you. And it's hard to do when your body isn't happy, and you can relinquish all the negative stuff to the divine. You don't have to hang on to that. That's why I incorporated that section in the intention, that release all doubts, fears, symptoms, all of it. Yeah. No need to hang on to it. Thank you so much for bringing that in. Because, you can't do it all on your own, and you're not supposed to do it all on your own.
That's right. That's right.
And other people can help you too. I mean, you've got all these brilliant tools that you use that help people reduce their stress and help them release whatever they've been hanging on to. Obviously, there's a lot of different kinds of symptoms that people have, but is there something that you notice that's kind of in common that a lot of people have before they start working with you? What's that trigger that makes them go, I got to call Susie?
I think it's just, for a lot of people, they've tried a lot of things and nothing has really worked. And they've taken more medicine because that's what the doctors are trained in medicine, and to give you more medicine. And medicine has its place, definitely, for short-term things. But long-term, like autoimmune, it's typically all autoimmune has some level of pain involved with it. But there's a lot of alternatives that you can do instead of taking more medicine. And of course, a lot of, I didn't learn any of this till after I went the traditional medicine route, but that's okay. I'm hoping to be able to let people know, and even before symptoms come up, because that's really the key, is to catch it. It's easier to maintain your health than to regain your health.
So true. So true.
And even though I'm like leaps and bounds ahead of where I was 20 years ago, I still have some issues. I still am on some pain medicine, but it's just a little teeny bit now. And I know a lot of times I'd had to switch a doctor recently, and they were like, wow, you're on such a low dose. And I'm like, yeah, I do a lot of alternative methods, and that have helped me really gain a lot of balance in my life and lessen my pain and boosted my energy. And so there are alternatives. We have choices every day in what we put in our mouth, what we choose to think about, how we choose to move our bodies, and the activities that we choose to do daily.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Susie, obviously we're talking about helping people overcome autoimmune disease, and yet this is the abundance journey. Is the name of the show. So abundance has a lot of different meanings. No two people define it the same way. Given the work that you do and the transformation you provide for your clients, how do you define abundance?
I think for me, abundance is just feeling really good in our bodies, in my body, in my mind, feeling good about who I am. That's been part of my healing journey too. Because so often, especially as girls, we're brought up to not have great self-esteem. And sometimes we were raised with mothers that had really poor self-esteem. And we pick up on all that unknowingly. That's kind of what happened to me. My mom was really shy and afraid of life. And I picked up a lot of those qualities. And of course, as we get older, we're like, I'm nothing like my mom, or I'm nothing like
yes, we are.
And I think in some of the outward things, no, we're totally different because we're a different generation. But the inward, the core part of us, of insecurities or habits or whatever it is, because that's who we learn from.
Yeah.
Who
absolutely.
else are we going to be like?
And it's interesting. As you were chatting, I got this kind of download that one of the things we're challenged by is really being present in the present moment.
Yes.
And one of the hidden purposes and blessings of pain is it kind of gets your attention. And it pulls you instantly into the present moment when you say, ow. But the other thing that really comes to mind is that you were talking about releasing the stress, because too often we're hanging on to it and we want to control things. We want to be in charge of everything. Yeah. And yet how beautiful when we can simply notice the discomfort, find it where it is in our bodies, view it as energy that's a little stuck at the moment, breathe into it and let it flow out of our bodies. And sometimes what happens is my right ankle hurts and I'm breathing into it. Now my left knee hurts. And most people go, well, that didn't work. Yes, it did. You're getting the energy to move. And that makes all the difference. Just move that energy because it moves up your body and out through the top of your head. And the more you can acknowledge yourself, hey, I've got the energy moving. This is great. I'm just going to keep going and let it continue to move. That makes all the difference. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's one of the things that I share with the women that I work with is that we are energy beings.
Yes.
We're humans experiencing an energy being or something like that. I know I'm not saying it right. But it is true. I mean, we're energy. Everything you see is energy. And if we stay in that stuck mindset of, oh, I'm sick, or I've been diagnosed, or I'm awful, or I'm this, or I'm that, or I'm that, that's on the negative side. That's what you'll be. But if you're like, wait a second, I can move this energy. I want to move this energy up and out. And I feel better.
Mm-hmm.
And I am a good person. And I can find another way to feel better. And always, because most of us are just kind of trained to immediately think of well, I don't know, if I do it, maybe this would happen, or I'll fail, or I don't know, too many I don't knows. But what if?
Mm-hmm.
What if we said, wait, what if I tried that and it worked? What if I tried this and I felt better? for me, I was on the medicine to traditional medicine for about 4 or 5 years, but I wasn't getting any better. Had constant flare-ups and endless pain. And the only thing the doctors wanted me to do was take more medicine. And I was like, ugh, I just thought that just didn't fit the way I pictured my life. And my intuition really kicked in and said, gosh, if I don't do something different, and I had no idea what it was going to be, no idea. But I knew that if I didn't try to find something different for me, that I would continue to get worse. So I just started looking and researching, and I started working at a health food store, and that made a huge difference. Just the customers that came in, I learned valuable information from them, and the reps and all the stuff. But so if I started with food, and when I eliminated dairy, I stopped having flare-ups, and I was having them weekly, sometimes daily. And when I stopped having flare-ups, and I've literally never had one since, and that was over 15 years ago.
Wow, congratulations.
Yes, I know, right? Just by taking one food group out of the mix. And, dairy really isn't good for most of us. A lot of the standard American diet is not the best diet overall, even though we've been taught that it is. It really isn't.
Yeah,
we need live food.
There's an increasing awareness of intolerances that we have.
Absolutely.
It's not that you have a severe allergy to a food. It's that your body really, 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 really doesn't like it.
Absolutely.
And so you get a couple of different situations when your body really, 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 really doesn't like it. It either causes pain, and sometimes it's later, so you don't immediately associate it with, oh, I ate this food and now I'm uncomfortable.
Right.
It can require a bit to build up, or your body takes that molecule, wraps it in lots of fat, and stores it in your rear end or some other location as far away as possible. But you notice this weight gain because your body really doesn't like this food and really wants you to change your behavior. We are given messages all the time. And I think one of the key things is to realize it's not that I am my body, it's that I have a body.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say earlier. You are not your body. You are a spiritual being experiencing your body.
Yes.
That's what I was trying to say earlier.
And so you have an obligation to take care of it. It's kind of like having a pet, right? You have to feed the pet well. You have to make sure they get potty breaks and give them lots of water and good sleep and lots of loving. I mean, that's the other thing that we forget to do for ourselves.
Love ourselves, for sure.
Absolutely. Yes. Well, you bring me to the next question. I've noticed that it's an inside game. I would love to have this magic wand and just instantly have things change, but I have to change in order for me to experience an external change. What do you notice your clients have to be willing to do? What is that internal shift that happens before they start to see results?
I think allowing themselves to know that there is another way.
Yes.
Because again, when we were brought up, the doctor knows best. Go to the doctor. The doctor will fix it. The doctor, and again, I'm not knocking the medical field at all. We need the medical field. But when it comes to autoimmune, it falls a little short. They can help it with initial pain or initial symptoms, but when they're chronic, you're just taking more medicine. And so to be open and willing to give something else a chance, like with the food. In fact, a lot of foods are touted as very healthy. There's a lot of healthy grains, but grains aren't the best for everybody. And that's what I really recommend an elimination diet, because you won't know what's causing a problem or a potential problem unless you eliminate it from your diet altogether. And an elimination diet can be a huge benefit to you to give it a try. And you just eliminate one food at a time. Unless you're really, really want to find out, you can eliminate them all and slowly add them back in. But sometimes that's just too much for us to take. Yeah. Sometimes our bodies don't, it's just too much of a drastic change for our body. Unless it's life and death, I recommend one food at a time, one food group at a time. And I do a whole program on the food elimination diet. And so I can get you started up on that. So
that's great.
Yeah. So
that's
even if certain foods are considered, because I didn't know, I don't know if dairy's not considered healthy, but I didn't know I had a dairy issue until I eliminated it. I'd eaten dairy all my life and never gave me a problem, but the dairy didn't cause my RA. I believe it was more of a mental problem a mental issue that caused that problem.
And you shift and change over time. Your body evolves over time, and things that were not a problem for you to eat in your youth can become very difficult to digest as an adult.
Yes.
And one of the things that you said that I think is so important that I really want to highlight here is the importance of commitment to your health. And too often people abdicate responsibility. They think, well, the doctor's going to fix that. The drug is going to fix that. I just have to go with the flow and trust that eventually I will feel better. You get to commit to yourself and commit to taking care of your body that you have responsibility for. It reminds me of Edison and his efforts to invent the light bulb. He found 999 ways that it did not work to invent a light bulb. And finally, on the 1000th way, he found a light bulb that worked. Yeah. Yes. And we refined it over time, and now we have LED light bulbs that work even better. So your journey hopefully will not take 1,000 different versions, but you may expect to have to try some different things and be comfortable with that. Accept that and relish the fact that there are so many opportunities for you to heal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know I did the 999 tries with with food, with energy work and thinking and supplements galore. And and some of them worked and some of them didn't. Some of them worked amazingly. And some of them I just was like, why am I doing this? So I decided to go into what I'm doing now and mentoring midlife women with autoimmune to help narrow it down to just, really 4 simple things, areas, not things, but areas. Food is energy work, mindfulness, and essential oils. And then there's a few other things I sprinkle in there too.
That is perfect. That's really beautiful. Well, Susie, if we're on this health journey, sometimes we tend to look at the ultimate outcome, which is I'm cured and I don't have this anymore. And we think that the interim steps don't matter, but it's those baby steps that create that final outcome. So when you're working with people, what are 1 or 2 baby steps that you get people to pay attention to that show that they are actually making progress?
Well, I typically start with food, because that's something everybody does. And we can get, some people even intuitively know, I think I have a problem with whatever, because when I eat it, I always feel this way afterwards. And so, 9 times out of 10, we already kind of know, but until we actually are told it or shown how to do the elimination diet, then we just go, oh, well, probably not. I've eaten this all my life. Why would it bother me now? Type thing. Mm-hmm. So really starting with food is a good thing. I am working with a client now that hers is dairy as well. Excuse me. And she has noticed that she's already feeling better by eliminating it all. She'd eliminate a few things here and there, but that doesn't work. If you're still getting a little bit of that dairy in there or whatever it is, the gluten, the grains, whatever it is, you're not going to feel better. It's like someone saying, I'm quitting smoking. I'm only going to smoke 1 cigarette a week. Not
quite.
It doesn't quite work.
You can't be
So,
a little bit pregnant. It's kind of one or the other, not both. Yes.
That's right. That's right.
Totally get that. That's awesome. Susie, you also were telling me a little bit before we got started about an incredibly generous gift that you wanted to make available to the audience. Could you tell us about your autoimmune relief bundle?
Yeah. It's called Autoimmune Relief Bundle, 5 simple practices to lessen your pain and find your daily calm. That's what we want most of all. When we're dealing with chronic pain and we're in pain all day, and sometimes it fluctuates. Some parts of the day it's really bad, and other parts it's okay. But it plays a toll on our mind. And so we really need to learn how to breathe in the calm and breathe out the pain. So that's one of the things in there. There's a calming hold. There's a energy medicine technique for if you have any kind of joint pain that can really help eliminate the pain. And there's a few more things in there. So that's a great little starter, techniques some of the things that I teach. And that would be great.
That is so beautiful. And I really love what you're doing because honestly, everything is connected, right? We think it's the body's over here, the emotions are over here, my mental state is over here and my spiritual state's over here. Or maybe it's up here somewhere, No. It's like the paper dolls, how you fold up and you cut it out and they're all hinged together.
Yes,
these things are all connected. They're all related. So when you start to get some movement in just one area, it all starts to unravel and open up and free itself. And it's so beautiful to have that experience and just luxuriate and celebrate that experience the same way we did our intention in the very beginning. Because we created this space for you to have this miraculous healing. And just in talking about it, in acknowledging that this is possible for you, you start to get the energy to move. And then you adopt some of Susie's suggestions and it really starts to move. How can it get even better than this? That's great.
Yes, and absolutely. We want to find our balance again. Because if we have a diagnosis of an autoimmune, something's out of balance. And it was actually out of balance before the diagnosis. So, but it's really out of balance now. And so that's what I share, and that's what I love, and that's what I do every day is maintain my balance. And now it's just a way of life. I think at first it feels like a full-time job, oh my gosh, now I gotta do this and I gotta do that. And oh my gosh, and now I gotta do this way. But now for me anyway, it's just my life now. And I wouldn't trade it for all the trials and error that I went through. I wouldn't trade it for anything because I feel like I can't imagine what my life would be if I didn't do it.
Yeah, I appreciate what you're saying because honestly, we tend to ignore ourselves. We're so busy at work. We're so busy with the kids. We're so busy with parents. We're so busy with husband. We're so busy with friends. There's always these demands on our time and we don't spend much time with ourselves.
That's right.
Really ignore ourselves and ignore our own needs. And we are not very loving to ourselves.
I know.
Thoughts are like, man,
I know. Why is that
so wrong? And so
it's so wrong. Yeah.
Having this awakening, oh gosh, I really need to treat myself well first.
Yeah.
And as I fill myself, then it overflows and I can be fully present for all those other people and all those other situations and things that need attention. But I got to give myself that grace first.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I know one of the things I didn't talk about very much was the energy work. I did energy work. Well, I'd never even heard of energy medicine before. I was like, what's that? But I was really intrigued and I was really open to, let's see what this is. Maybe I'll try it, maybe I won't, but I was really open. That's what I encourage everybody, be open to see if it may work for you because everything doesn't work for everybody and that's okay. but you got to be open to try the next thing. So I did energy work for 30 days. And within 30 days, let me back up. Prior to the energy work, I could only do one step at a time because my right knee literally felt like it was just going to give out and I was going to crash down the stairs all the time. So I just do one step at a time. Here I am going up the stairs. And I found the energy work, did it for 30 days. And I could go up and down stairs again. I had more energy overall. It was just, it was amazing. And that just, every time I'd have a big win, I felt like that was a big win. The eliminating dairy, that was a big win.
Yeah.
The mindfulness was huge win. And that's a whole huge topic on its own. But, and essential oils. I make essential oil blends, for pain relief and for focus and to calm my mind, to sleep. There's everything for that. But probably the two main things are the food and the energy medicine, for sure. Well, the mindfulness. That's that's probably number one.
They all four go together beautifully because your physical body is connected to your energy body, which is connected to your emotions and your mental outlook. And your spiritual outlook. It's all connected. It's those folding dolls that are all connected. So
I love that example. That's such a great visual.
I love what you're doing, Susie. And one of the things that we always do here with the Abundance Journey, we love to turn the tables on our guests because you are such a blessing and we're so impressed with what you're doing. What can we do to support you?
Oh gosh. Well, I think what I would like for you all to do is get the autoimmune relief bundle, because that way you'll get on my mailing list. I send out a month, 1 or 2 emails a month. Nothing. I don't bombard your email box. That drives me nuts when I sign up for something and I get 10 emails in the first day. I'm like, whoa, wait a second. So, and join the Facebook group. We'll have all these links in the show notes, and so you can join that way. But yeah, just let's connect. Reach out to me if you'd like to have a 15-minute chat, and we can see how we can get you feeling better in your body and really start living again and enjoying your day-to-day activities, which can feel very limiting sometimes.
Susie, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me today. This conversation has just been absolutely magical. And of course, I was trying to take some quick notes while you were chatting because you had so many wonderful things to say. And now you've made my life very difficult because I have to pick just one to do the Activate Abundance segment around it. It's a head scratcher. So
I know, right? Well, I've got one. I've got a real good one I'd like to leave with everybody.
Please.
Or not your diagnosis.
Yes.
So often when we get a diagnosis, I've seen this in other people, they become it. And then they just sink into their bodies and they're not themselves anymore. You're not your diagnosis. You have choices to feel better in your body right now, today.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Susie.
Thank you, Elaine. I loved being on your show. Thank you for having me.
Okay, everybody stick around because we're going to activate abundance in just a second. So are you ready to activate abundance in every single area of your life? Well, you can get in flow with your business and your clients. It's as easy as you can imagine to create the kind of revenue you really want in your business. You can join me for the Abundance Journey 6-week training and coaching program that help you turn your problems into prosperity. Just visit theabundancejourney.com to sign up for our next adventure. Isn't Susie awesome? I mean, come on. What's not to love about this one? I mean, she's been there. She's done that. She's had the agony, the daily agony of rheumatoid arthritis. She's had that experience and she decided to relinquish that. She's figured out how to let most of those symptoms go. So she very, very rarely ever experiences that discomfort, and how generous that she's willing to share that with us and allow us to have much more comfort in our bodies too. I love that. So step 1 is always gratitude. I always learn things. And Susie was just a font of information. She had so many brilliant ideas to share with us. I loved being able to set the intention with you and set that space of here's how we get an opportunity to heal. And something will come into your awareness and you'll go, ooh, I might want to try that. And Susie very generously offered a number of different options and ideas and opportunities for you to heal and feel better in your life. So thank you so much, Susie, for that. Step one, gratitude. Step two, acknowledge something you heard that was a bit of an aha for you. And I really got a big aha when Susie said, it's all about finding your balance. It's about finding your balance. And I immediately saw like a teeter-totter. If you remember when you were a little kid and sometimes you could very carefully walk up towards the middle part of the teeter-totter and then you could be on both sides at the same time. And so sometimes we lean a little too far on one side and it feels like we're really stuck there and it can feel really hard. But by remembering that it's all about balance, it's not about eliminating everything in my life that I love and adore. It's about finding the things that really nourish my body and enrich my experience, being fully present for myself and honoring myself. That is such a big aha for me. I really appreciate that. So step two is acknowledge something that was an aha for you. Step three is appreciate the difference it can make in your life. Well, it gives me that awareness of choice in the moment. That's what's so important about this, because I can immediately see myself on the teeter-totter. And when I'm about to order some food in a restaurant, it's like, okay, am I going to order something that's going to support my health or diminish my health? Something that feels really good in my body because it's nourishing and replenishing, or something that's going to taste good, but I'm going to feel lousy later. Do I want that long-term value or not? And it's my choice. So Susie just empowered me to be in the moment with my choice. That's huge. So after step three, appreciate the difference it can make in your life, is activate abundance. And there are three different ways we can activate abundance. We can pull out the calendar and schedule something, or you can have a little trigger, a physical reminder, like crossing your fingers. And that's going to remind you, this is a balance point. Every part of my life is all about balance. Am I in balance here? And which choice am I going to make that keeps me in balance? So I could have a physical trigger to remind me about balance. The third way to activate abundance is to publicly declare to someone else, this is what I'm going to do, and ask them to help hold you accountable. And that's where working with someone like Susie can be so powerful, because you've got that accountability system built in and that knowledge center where you can get some immediate feedback and guidance. We are not islands. It's so hard to do things all on our own. It really helps when you've got supportive people who get where you're coming from, been there, done that, and help you through the process. So it's definitely the kind of thing where I want to declare I'm going to be much more aware of my balance. And I'm going to be asking myself all the time, does this choice maintain my balance? Is this a loving action for me? And not a short term, it feels good, it tastes good in this second, but a long-term lasting, I'm going to feel great for weeks because I made this choice. I'm going to be asking myself that question all the time. That was step 4, activate abundance. Step 5, celebrate your progress. You are in this energy space that is all about health and well-being. You just got some incredible insights from Susie Day. She's marvelous, and she really understands different techniques that can transform your life. I encourage you to listen to this episode again and again. Write down those little insights that come to you, because this is the opportunity for you to move forward in your life with better choices, with more awareness of yourself, with more kindness and love towards yourself, so that you can show up in the beauty of who you are. And we can all benefit from getting to be with you. You're magic. And we need you to love you. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you next time for the Abundance Journey.
You've been listening to the Abundance Journey Show with Elaine Starling. Visit theabundancejourney.com/podcast gifts to access today's gift, as well as gifts from our other guests. Tune in every week to activate abundance in your life and business. If something resonated with you, please share it with your friends so they can benefit too. Keep activating abundance, and we'll see you in the next episode.